playing versus black decks in the One Piece card game is always going to be an uphill battle. Honestly, it's one of the decks that I have the most trouble playing against. In combination with all the removal, they always have a bunch of good 2Ks. And with the new release of Koby, we're gonna go ahead and get right into this game right here. So I kind of want to show you guys how we dealt with Koby at my last game. So without further ado, let's get it. All right, we got none other than the Koby matchup right here. If you guys don't know what Koby does, let's just get right into the leader ability. So pretty much it is a 5K leader, red black. Your sword type characters can attack characters on the turn in which they are played. So all of his sword characters are going to be having character rush. And then once per turn, if your navy type character with 7,000 base power or less would be removed from the field by your opponent's effects, you may place 3 cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck in any order instead. Okay, so let's break it down. Koby is pretty good because he can protect his characters and he has character rush. But we don't have to worry about the second part of the ability because we cannot KO any of his characters that are 7,000 power because we just simply don't have facilities for that. But the first part of the ability is going to be very annoying. His sword characters are going to have rush. So my opponent right here plays the Searcher, the 1-cost Searcher, and then he's going to go ahead and grab that Helmeppo and add it to hand. The Helmeppo is a bomb. Honestly, you're going to see right now, he's going to use it against me multiple times. So perfect start to the game right here. I love seeing Searchers when I play Yellow Green Law. I am going second. I did not choose to go second. My opponent took first away from me. Typically, as Yellow Green Law, you do want to go first. Just because hitting the Cavendish on 5 and then the Secret Law on 7 is just the best. And then I'm going to go ahead and play the 1-cost Bonnie right after. So pretty good start for me, right? 2 Searchers already out on the field. 2 out of 12 Searchers. Love to see that. My opponent is going to play this Borsalino. And I don't even know what this Borsalino does. Let's look it up. But pretty much, I think I know what it does. It lets your leader attack into active characters. That's what I think it does because he just attacked into the Bonnie and, very, very unlucky for us. I did not even see that coming. I didn't even know this card existed. But, this is one of the first games in person I play against Koby. So, you learn every day. I attach one down to Luffy and get rid of this Borsalino because it is a blocker. And I do want to get it out of the way. And then I play another Bonnie that I had in hand. Great for us. You love to see it. But yeah, so, that's 3 Searchers that I'm already hitting. It's looking really, really good. I'm having a pretty good hand. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab the Beige because typically whenever I grab the Beige early is because I have a Cavendish in hand and I want to double play on my 5 or 6 down turn. I swing 6 to my leader, or I swing 6 to him and he gives me a 2K. He gives me the Very Good. Is that what that card's called? Very Good. My opponent taps 1 for the 1-cost Searcher. This was a pretty intense back and forth game. The beginning of any game, you kind of just want to establish Searchers. You kind of want to start looking for the cards that you need, the big bodies. I've already done 2 searches. I've grabbed the Beige, and then I forgot what I grabbed on the first search. But my opponent is also filtering his hand out, right? He's playing his Searchers. He played the first one, and then he played the Event Searcher, and now he played the brand new. And then I played the Luffy Searcher, the Bonnie Searcher. He KO'd one of them before I could search with it. And then I played another Bonnie Searcher. So it's pretty good for both sides right here. I would say this is a very, very equal game right now. We're definitely both feeling like we're in the driver's seat. My opponent grabs the 1-cost Ripper. That's just going to be a new 1-cost Chibi blocker. He swings 6 to me. I grab the Secret Law off of my life. I love to see that. And then he plays the Ripper, the 1-cost Chibi blocker. Luckily, I have ways to get rid of that. If you play Yellow Green Law, you have access to Scratch Manapoo. Scratch Manapoo is going to be a 1-cost 2K Supernova. And on play, it's rest a 2-cost or less. Really, really good. And you could always bounce it to hand, play it again to rest something else. So, just like how I predicted it, I played Cavendish on my 6th on turn, restand 2, leaving me a total of 3 active. I'm going to go ahead and tap one of them to do my third search of the game. Let's see what I end up grabbing here. My opponent didn't end up attacking into this Bonnie, which is good for us. All right. Then I attach one Don to my leader. I tap the last Don for the Bege that I just told you guys. Super clean combo right here. Grab my top life, and then I'm gonna place. I believe I would want to play a blocker law for that optimal play here, but I don't have a blocker law, unfortunately. I believe I thought I did have one. I remember in this moment I was like, damn, where the heck is blocker law? I don't see him. So unfortunately I did not get the optimal play, but I do play the Bonnie to rest one of my opponent's Dawn and pass. So this was kind of a blunder on my part because I remember thinking that I had the blocker law because I was gonna play the blocker law, bounce the Bege, and then replay like another searcher, but unfortunately I didn't have it. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to stop one of my opponent's like power plays this turn. Because Koby is 6 Dawn, or not Koby, the Helmeppo. The Helmeppo is 6 Dawn, and I believe he's at 7 Dawn right now. And I froze one of them, so I'm not gonna be able to fully stop that play from happening, which would be optimal, right? If the roles were reversed and I was first and he was second, I would be able to stop his 6 Dawn play, which would significantly set him back immensely. So I'm not getting the best play right here with playing that Bonnie, but it's all right. My opponent swings 5 to me. I give the 1K because I have a Cavendish already in the field. Like, if you have 2 Cavendish in hand, you don't need 2 of them because you can't stack their abilities. My opponent plays the Helmeppo just how I said, and then he double plays the Koby from trash. Koby is going to have a plethora of abilities. I have it up right here. On play, up to one of your characters can also attack active characters during this turn. And then when attacking, you may place 2 cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck. Up to one of your leader or character cards gains 1000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. Pretty tough, pretty tough. And it's a body. The only thing is you have to bottom deck this Koby after he attacks because of the Helmeppo. The Helmeppo double plays it, but then the Helmeppo also says double. If you play the Koby, you have to bottom deck it at the end of your turn. Something along the lines of that. But pretty much he is sending a huge attack into Cavendish. I believe he's giving 9 to Cavendish. Because, yeah, he gave his leader plus 1K, which he should have done it in reverse. Maybe he was just trying to hide the fact that he was going to play it by swinging with his leader first. So, not sure why he chose to do this sequencing. He didn't really maximize the plus 1K on Koby. But, maybe he is up to something that I just don't know about. I don't play Koby. So I'm just really debating it here. I can defend a 6 to 9, a 9K to 6 with just 2Ks. So I'm really debating it. I have a lot of cards in hand, and this is something that I would highly suggest for you guys to learn. If you have a lot of cards in hand, you need to make use of those cards in hand, right? Like yellow green law, we're drawing a lot, we're taking our life early. So typically we can sit on like 9-10 cards like on our 4th turn of the game, and it's very important to like pick and choose what to protect and what not to, because there's no point in having so much counter, so many cards in hand, if you're not even going to use them to protect the things that matter. So right here I choose to give up the Cavendish because of what I was seeing in my hand. I felt that I would rather save 2Ks in hand, or I probably didn't have 2Ks, and I would have to given up 3 cards in hand. So I think those were the 2 options that I had. I either had really good cards in hand that I didn't want to trash, or I just didn't have 2Ks. Looking at my hand right here, I don't think I saw 2Ks, so it was probably that. So I tap 7 for the secret law. Gonna go ahead and play 1 supernova to the top of my life, face up, give 1 rested Dawn to leader, and then I'm going to swing a perfect 6 to life because my opponent is at 6K. So you need to remember, 6K leaders don't got nothing against yellow green law, because typically our leader is always going to be swinging 6, and then all of our 5 cost bodies R6K. So my opponent gives me a 1K. Aramaki, I swing 6 to life. My opponent takes it. And then I have an option of playing the Bonnie here. I can bounce something to hand and play the Bonnie and freeze my opponent's Dawn. But I'm debating to see if it's even worth it. I bounce a beige, and then I do not use leader ability to play the Bonnie. I deem that it's better for me to just stay at 3 life because my opponent is kind of forced to swing into this Bonnie right here, my rested Bonnie. Me playing this other Bonnie, yes, it would give me another body, but I think I was just trying to see if it was just more worth it to just stay at 3 life. And then I did have a bunch of cards in hand. I have 2Ks because I drew a beige and then I bounced the beige to hand. So definitely not feeling any pressure in this moment to play the Bonnie. A lot of times we feel as yellow green like that we want to spam board, which I don't think is necessarily always the case. I have bodies on the field right now and I can protect bodies. Like my opponent just swung right here. My opponent plays another Helmeppo, and then he's going to play another Koby from trash. Koby's going to have the same effect on play. Give one character or leader the ability to attack active characters, right? Up to one of your characters can also attack characters. So he's going to go ahead and... Who does he give it to? I believe he gives it to... Oh, I don't think it matters because I don't think he could even swing into any active character other than my Secret Law, and then Secret Law is already at 9K, so I don't think he even chooses to attack into it. But he's swinging 7 into Bonnie, and then he gives a plus 1K. I don't even know who he's giving it to be honest. First he used this searcher to reduce one character by 1,000, or to give one character plus 1,000. So he's like pretty much Koby has a lot of cards that do plus and do minus. So long story short, I give up the Bonnie right here, and then he is swinging, I believe, into my Secret Law right here. So what is that? 11 into 9. Yeah, he's swinging 11 into 9. He's trying to get rid of my whole board right here. See, if I would have had this Bonnie on the field as active, he would have swung this 11K into 6K, and there's absolutely no way I'm protecting that. So I give 2K 1K to go up to 12, and I protect my Secret Law. If I had that Bonnie on the field, I would have lost a life and I would have lost Bonnie, because there's no way I'm defending against that. I'm not pitching my whole hand just to save Bonnie. So in hindsight, very, very good play, very smart play by me. I don't think I was even thinking about this scenario, but now that I'm watching it back, like definitely having Secret Law be the biggest body that my opponent can swing into actually ended up helping me. Because I had a better chance to counter out of it than if it was a Bonnie. So my opponent is at 7K because of the Koby effect and 1 Dawn, and he's swinging 7 to lead, and I end up taking it. And then just like the last time, Koby ends up getting bottom decked and then passes over to us. So we survived a pretty intense onslaught. My opponent did just play 2 Helmeppos back to back into 2 Kobys back to back. And I feel like we're pretty good. Like we're at 2 life. We have a Secret Law on the field. We have like 7 cards in hand. It's looking pretty good for us. We do have a couple of beiges, so anything that we want to put on top of our life, we have the ability to. It's just a matter of what I have in my hand. So right here, just counting it up, I'm gonna attach 3 Dawn to Luffy, and then I realized that that Koby's at 6K leader. So definitely reconsidering that. So I just swing 9 to 7. I'm trying to get rid of this Helmeppo right here. My opponent does have the Chibi blocker. He's going to go ahead and block. And then I swing 9 to Helmeppo. He's going to go ahead and give it up. All right. Let's see what I end up cooking here. I do have 5 Dawn left. 4 Dawn left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Dawn left. So I could do what I could hard play a Bonnie. I could play a beige. Okay, I play beige, grab top life. I play a Bonnie, and then I use leader effect to bounce Bege to hand, to play the Bonnie, freeze the Helmeppo, and then I tap 2 Dawn to play a Capone Bege blocker. I tap 2 Dawn to play another Capone Bege blocker and pass turn with 1 Dawn active. Power play, baby. This is what we've been waiting for. This is the exact turn. This is the swinging point right here. You know, without even watching the rest of the match, like just looking at this board state, this is a pivotal turn. This is a pivotal time, right? I have 2 Beges on the field that are protecting my cards from getting KO'd. Instead of being KO'd, they would be sent to the top of my life or bottom. And then I have a rested Secret Law that's 9k, so my opponent is going to have to commit a lot of Dawn to even try to KO it. But, you know, I'm in the driver's seat right here. I'm feeling good. My opponent has, like 5 cards in hand. His Helmeppo is frozen. And, you know, we're looking good. Now our opponent is at the mercy of, you know, of trying to survive one last turn. Because, you know, we're looking pretty good. Yeah, so Helmeppo is frozen. Can't really do anything. My opponent has access to what? I mean, we've already seen some of the cards that he has. Koby's, possibly run the Garps. So it looks like he puts 3 Dawn on his leader, and maybe he's swinging 8k. Yep, 8k to lead. So just debating on what I want to do here. Do I want to take the life? Typically, I feel good being at 0 life on Yellow Green Law. I call it my 0 life comfort zone. Because, you know, we're okay with being at 0 life. A lot of people feel scared to be at 0 life, but we have so many blockers. I give 2Ks to go up to 9k. A lot of people are scared to be at 0 life, but, you know, if you run a lot of blockers, typically you're going to be good. You run Yellow Kid, you're going to be good. My opponent is going to use the Honesty Impact to KO this 7 Law, and then Bege ability is going to put it on top of my life. Alrighty. So, back to me. So my opponent did end up playing the 1 cost Ripper. So perfect example of what Bege does right here, guys. If any of your supernovas were to be removed from the field, you may instead put them face up on your life. I don't know if it's face up or face down. I gotta double check that. But it's looking pretty good. My opponent just has a 1 cost blocker and 2 life. I have a lot of swings, but I don't even know if I have the angle to end here. I can send a couple of swings, and then I think I'm just gonna probably send some probably play some more blockers down, because again, I'm in no rush to end this game. I'm in the commanding position. I have blockers. I have 2 life. I swing 6 to my opponent and he gives me a 2k. I attach 3 Dawn to my Luffy. I swing 5. He gives me that he takes a life. So this is where it gets a little dicey, you know. I'm like, damn, do I try to go for it? Do I try to use the Bege to try to attack? But then I quickly realize my opponent has a blocker. So don't get too excited. Play smart. Play strategic. See what you want to do here. Alrighty, so just counting it up, right? You know, we do have this Secret Law on top of our life, so we can't really use our leader ability, unfortunately. That's the whole main point of Bege. Like, typically Bege lets you use leader ability, because if people try to get rid of your 5 costs, you put them on top of your life, and then you can then use leader ability. But I mean, more often people are going to be targeting the Bege instead of your other bodies. I attach 2 Dawn to my leader and I swing 7 to life. My opponent gives me the blocker. I play 5 cost blocker law, bounce the Luffy, and then replay the same Luffy. Look at top 5. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my 3rd Bege of the game and then pass to my opponent. So we're looking pretty good, right? We have Bege on the field protecting everything. Anything that my opponent wants to KO gets sent to my life, sent to the top of my life. And then even if I choose to block with the Bege, I have another Bege. So we're looking pretty good. Yeah, and then right here, I read the Capone, and then, yeah, it is in fact face down on top of my life. So definitely going to be helping out. It's important because, you know, a lot of times people might forget, and that could work in your favor. It can be, you know, it could be a no counter card that you put in your life, and then if they forget when they're going for lethal, like later on, a couple turns later, they forget that, you know, what card you just drew. So it could definitely work out in your favor. my opponent is gonna search. He's gonna grab that Groose. That Groose is a pretty interesting card. If you guys have never seen that card, it's pretty good. I believe it's one of those super niche cards. I'm gonna look it up because it is. We were discussing it after the game. Let's see, Prince Groose TCG. Yep, I got it. So my opponent's gonna swing 5 to life. I'm gonna give a 1K. All right, my opponent taps 8 for the dragon, gives 2 Rested Dawn to Helmeppo, putting Helmeppo at 9K. All right. 9K. My opponent is going to swing 9 to Bonnie. I'm going to give one of the blockers, Beige. And then my opponent taps 1 Dawn to play the Ripper blocker and swings 9 to Bonnie, and I'm going to give the Beige. So I found out what the Prince Groose does. Let's read it. It's a 2K counter. When attacking, all of your opponent's characters with 2,000 power or less cannot activate blocker during this turn. Pretty so right here I just swing 7 real quick. I'm getting ahead of myself. And then I'm going to swing 9 to life. And my opponent has no life. He just has 1 blocker. He's going to go ahead and block with the Ripper. And then I'm going to attach the rest to leader and swing. And that is going to be game right there. That's going to be game. There you have it. Koby versus Yellow Green Law. Pretty nice matchup. Pretty intense matchup. It was very even early. And then, you know, once the Capone Bege came out, that's when the tide started shifting. A lot of times, you know, before we even had access to that card, we would be using the Tashigi. The Tashigi would be resting. It would rest itself to protect cards. But Bege is adding it to the top of our life instead. So look, right here, we were talking about the Prince Groose. So Prince Groose is when attacking, all of your opponent's characters cost 2,000 or less, cannot activate blocker during this turn. So what does this mean? If he would have played the Prince Groose, he could have character rushed it and just swung into whatever, into the Bonnie, and then it disables both of my Beige blockers from using their ability to block, right? And then that just, it changes everything, right? Like, yeah, my opponent was at 0 life, so maybe he felt the need, he had to play this card right here, but the blocker, but it was just something that we were talking about, like, oh, like it would have been interesting if you played this card, disabled the blockers, and then attacked into the Bonnie to like get rid of it for sure. So regardless, it's always nice to be able to have these tech cards and to be able to have different strategies to combat. So if you guys play Koby, like this Prince Groose is definitely a card that you guys should, you know, consider, because it can disable Beige from blocking. Anyhow, that was going to be the matchup right there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys learned something. That's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys stuck around to the end and learned something. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. And I have 3 more games from this tournament to show you guys. I'm going to be showing you a couple of more matches. I'm not going to say who. You guys are going to have to tune in to see who I play against. But that's going to be it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.